How might we? How might we is a great design thinking activity. It is a big part of the design sprint. And we have built a really nice How Might We tool as part of Control Room. So let's take a quick look. I'm going to jump into this meeting, and then I'm going to add a How Might We activity. We can add as many as we want. It defaults to to name and prompt, but you can easily change these. So I might prefer just to say HMW, or I might want to call it something else entirely. But that's just for you to locate this specific activity. The prompt is going to be for your participants, so important to put in something that's going to resonate with them and be specific to the work they're doing. Also, we have how might we's can they share? So we're going to encourage them to take as many notes as possible when they're listening to interviews, but how many are you going to let them share? And this is going to be a function of how many participants you have, because if you've got 5 participants, maybe you'll let them share 10 each, and that's 50. But if you have 20 participants, you certainly don't want to do 10 each, because that's 200, and that's just way too many for them to read and sort through. The system can handle that, but I don't think the people could. And then, of course, votes is going to be a function of how many people you have and how many you want to filter down to at the end. So if we only want 3 at the end and we have 20 people, you might want to limit votes to like 1 or 2. Right, because that 20 people distributing votes is going to distribute quite far. So I'm going to go ahead and add the votes. We'll just leave it at 4 and 3. You notice we got this alert saying that our participants are looking at Lightning demos, and we're on How Might We. So let's go ahead and send our participants over, and then grab our participant link, and then jump on over, and we'll see that we now have our participant view. They can tell they're on How Might We because it's bold. They've finished up these other activities. The prompt is saying ask some open-ended questions and take notes. So as I'm listening to my interview, I might take some notes like how might we provide more custom services around knowledge transfer. I just made this up. I don't know. But they would create as many how might we's as we want. How might we offer better food? Start earlier. Whatever these ideas are, these opportunities, they're just kind of collecting them as they go. And of course they can edit if they want, etc. So they're just capturing these right now. And as a facilitator, you can, at the moment that you decide is appropriate, advance them to the sharing phase. And you'll be able to see how many people have added. So if you got any participants that haven't added any, you might want to nudge them. That this window is just to show you that they are, if they're active or not. And so if you need to nudge them, you can nudge them. I'm going to go ahead and move it over to sharing. So you can see as a participant, I can see my notes, and I can click on the ones that I want to share. I'll go ahead and share all 3 of these, but I could decide to leave one of them out if I wanted to. And then we can move on to grouping, which is really handy because this is a way to organize our how might we's. So we might, and especially, we might have 50 of these things on the wall. And so we might want to edit these groups. And so notice that as a facilitator, you can create groups and you can move stuff as well. So if you want to do it for them or help out as you're having a conversation about these things, you can totally do that. You can rename and delete groups, if you will. Another thing that's really nice, if there's a duplicate, then you can hover it over and combine them. So see how it created a little stack, and you can see the ones that are stacked. If you've got a duplicate and you want to move it out, you just move it out of the duplicate. So then I'll just leave that as a duplicate, I guess, even though it doesn't logically make sense, because I want you to see that it's not included in the voting. Duplicates won't be included in the voting. So you can see this is all synced up. And then when I go to start voting, now my participants can vote, but they're not able to vote. They can vote on the anything that has a duplicate, but the duplicate is hidden underneath. so our votes don't get spread across and diluted. So that is how the voting works. I'm going to go ahead and remove one of my votes so you can kind of see on the final screen when we reveal results that we can see what got voted and what got archived. And so these are the winners that we're going to take forward. You can, of course, download everything. There's columns for shared, voted, and whatnot. So you can see them all, but also collect up and the winners. We can print this view. We can also do a copy results or send results to LiveScribe. And there isn't a LiveScribe right now, so I'll go ahead and add the LiveScribe. And you'll see that, well, let me go back to that. There's a bug that's fixed in dev, but not in prod right now. I'm going to send a LiveScribe. Now that LiveScribe is created, it will go in. We can see our how might we start earlier and then provide more custom services. Got 0 votes. So that's the outputs and sending that to LiveScribe. And of course, you could copy those outputs and paste them anywhere you want. And then you can download all the how might we's so that you can review them and sift them, sort them for another workshop sometime. So that's the how might we. Thanks for listening and hope to talk to you soon.